Hi, I'm David. I'm a postdoc at MIT and at the Broad Institute, and I'm going to present our work about enabling collaborative analysis of genomic data silos with privacy. There are many motivations for collaborative analysis of genomic data. They include the fact of enabling to analyze larger study cohorts, which can enhance the statistical power of the result. It can also facilitate new discoveries, especially for findings that are related to rare variants that are difficult to find across population. It can also increase the access to data from diverse populations, making the studies more inclusive, and would also boost the utilization of the genomic data that are already collected by many different institutes. However, these collaborative analyses are difficult to execute because of privacy concerns and because of existing regulations or data protection laws that are in place in order to protect this very sensitive and personal data. Moreover, existing approaches for collaborative studies, which can be centralized or based on cryptography, do not fully address these concerns, as we will see by using an example with a genome-wide association study and one of the most common workflows for genome-wide association study. So in GWAS, the goal is to find correlations between SNPs and a specific phenotype of interest in an association test. But in order to find meaningful correlations that do not come from other properties of the data first have to be preprocessed. So first, the related samples have to be removed from the data. Then the quality of the data is checked and the data are filtered based on this quality control. And then the structure of the population in the data is captured through usually a PCA, such that this information can be included as covariate in the association test that will then really check for the association between the SNP and the phenotype. In order to do this, one approach is for the institutes to all transfer their data to a computation party, which can then perform the study on the collected data. However, there are some scalability issues due to the fact that all data have to be transferred to this entity. And there are, of course, privacy concerns, again, due to this transfer of very sensitive data outside of the data owners or the institutes. In order to avoid this, meta-analysis approaches have been proposed. In this case, the institute keep their data locally and perform the steps of the analysis locally on their subset of the data before combining their final result. The combination of these final results can still have some privacy concerns because it can reveal some information about the local data, and there can be some precision issues, meaning that this study can give different results than the study performed on the pooled data set, because the computations are performed independently by each party on its local data, which means that if the distribution, for example, of the data is different across its different institutes, it can give different results at the end, as it doesn't capture the global information about the data. Finally, there are cryptography-based solutions in which the parties compute directly on encrypted data, which ensures privacy, so there is no more privacy concerns, but these solutions usually do not scale to large number of parties or large data sets, because computing on encrypted data comes with higher computation overhead and possibly high communication overhead. There are two main cryptography primitives that are used for the multi-party, for the federated scenario. The first one is homomorphic encryption, in which the parties encrypt their data and transfer them to a computation party, which then compute directly on the encrypted data without seeing the original data. This can be efficient for large-scale operations, but also comes with a high computation overhead due to the computation directly on encrypted data, and with a high communication overhead because all the data have to be transferred to this computation entity. An alternative approach, a cryptographic approach, is secure multi-party computation, in which the institute secret share or split their data into shares that they send to different computing parties, such that each computing party doesn't learn anything about the original data, as each share doesn't reveal anything about the original data, but the computation party can collaborate in order to compute as if they were computing on the original data. This is more efficient than homomorphic encryption for some operations, such as the evaluation of non-polynomial functions, but also comes with a high communication cost because all the data have to be transferred to multiple computation parties. In our approach, we actually combine these cryptographic building blocks, but we'll see that by combining them, we can actually avoid their disadvantages. So in our setting, we have a set of institutes that have their data locally, and in this case, they will keep their data locally, non-encrypted, which means that they can efficiently compute locally on their data, and that we can efficiently distribute the workload among the parties. So this reduces the communication cost and the computation overhead. Then the parties will collaborate by exchanging only encrypted data. This ensures data confidentiality, and in this case, a very high security level, as the parties will rely on a collective public key in order to encrypt the exchange information. So here, a collective key is created by the parties having to combine their public keys into this collective key, such that each information is encrypted with this key, and each information exchanged among the parties can only be decrypted if all the parties participate in decryption. So this ensures a high security level. And finally, we design interactive protocols in order to switch between homomorphic encryption and secure multi-party computation, which means that we can efficiently compute among large-scale matrices or vectors with homomorphic encryption, and we can efficiently evaluate non-polynomial functions by switching to secure multi-party computation for this type of operation, which gives us a very versatile secure computation framework to compute securely among distributed data sets. So this secure and versatile framework enables us to perform complex studies such as GWAS by having the parties locally compute on their non-encrypted data, which is efficient, and also by collaborating at each step by exchanging encrypted small-scale information. The result of each step is kept encrypted and used in the following steps. So the parties securely collaborate without revealing any information about their data to the other parties, such that at the end they get results as if the study was performed on the pooled data set, but again, without having learned any information about the other party's data. We have developed a solution that is specially focused on the PCA step, which is a complex step often executed on large-scale input. We have presented this work in a paper that was published this year at IEEE SNP, and we show there multiple optimizations to perform this efficiently across distributed data. So the parties exchange encrypted information in order to get the final result without learning information about the other parties' data. This final result is here shown as a projection on the first two principal components. We can see that this result is very similar to the result that is obtained by executing the same study, but in a centralized manner on the pooled data set, and which is not the case for the same workflow executed by the parties locally before combining their final result, due to the difference in the distribution of the data across the parties. It is also important to see that Here, each party only sees its subset of the data projection and doesn't learn any information about the other party's data. We have also compared our solution with other secure solutions based on centralized homomorphic encryption or the secret sharing technique of secure multi-party computation. And we show that for various datasets with different dimensions, two datasets are genomic data here, we can see that our solution in all cases outperforms the other solutions. So here our solution is in green. And we can see that across all datasets, our solution is more efficient. And this is due to our optimized workflow, which also adapts to the input dimensions in order to efficiently execute the collaboration or the computation as shown in the paper. For the entire genome-wide association study, we have presented a first solution in Nature Communication in 2021, and we have now a new solution that supports a wide range of genome-wide association study for association tests based on linear or logistic regression, and also workflows that are based on PCA or linear mixed models. This paper is currently under submission and available in bioRxiv. And there we show that we are able to run complex genome-wide association studies across distributed data sets. So here we have an example with 7 institutes. So we simulated an existing biomedical network with tens of thousands of samples and millions of SNPs. We show that with a very practical runtime, we are able to achieve similar results as the same study on the pooled data set. Again, without having to pull the data together or reveal information between the parties. And we obtain more accurate results than the results that are obtained with the meta-analysis approach. We have also developed a website which gives access to users to our secure solutions and which streamlines all the steps of the studies and really facilitates the collaboration, as the users do not have to take care of the cryptography components. Everything is streamlined to execute the study, as we will see in this short demo. So here there are 2 users. The users on the left will create the study, here a genome-wide association study. It will then select the parameters for the study, the properties, describe the properties of its data, and submit the study to the website. Other users can see the study and request to participate in the study. This request can be accepted by the creator of the study, and then the users can start the study, which will be performed, of course, without revealing any data between the users or without also the websites accessing the user's confidential data. So the websites automatize or streamlines the study, but doesn't learn any information about the user's local data. It performs the entire genome-wide association study. Here it's finishing the PCA or population certification. Now it's running the final association test, such that at the end, the users get the result of the study, of course, without having seen other users' data. And in this case, we accelerated the demo for time purposes. And to conclude, we propose a solution that is scalable, secure, and that provides a versatile federated computation framework, which can be used to perform multiple genomic studies while preserving data confidentiality. Our solutions are available in the SFKit website, so users can easily collaborate to perform study. We'll be happy to talk more now with questions or at the poster session. And as a last word, one of our co-authors, Hoon, is soon starting as a faculty member at Yale. And so if you are interested to join his team, you should definitely contact him. Thank you.